Interesting time to be alive.
All right, Kevin Smith. Let's get into.
All right, so Disney and Sony are, according to Deadline, are in a standoff ends with Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige's involvement in Spider-Man. Well, which has just kind of already been resolved-ish. So Marvel and Sony met up again to like.
They had to renegotiate their deal. Their 3-movie
deal.
contract was up with Spider-Man.
Yeah, and so they brought up 50-50 co-stake with like Spider-Man.
Right.
And
but Sony said, "How about 70-30?"
They pretty much what it seemed like they rejected it.
Sony said no. How about 70-30? And Disney declined.
I don't remember hearing the 70-30.
So here's what I'll say: everybody's trying to make Sony out to be the bad guy in this situation,
They are.
and I think that's garbage. Because if Sony came to Disney and said, "No, I think you'd be very interested in this."
No, I want to hear the
same thing.
Just go ahead.
If Sony came to, let's say, like the Boba Fett thing, the Mandalorian stuff or whatever, like let's say Sony had an idea for that, and they came to Disney and said, "We have this great idea. Here's the pitch," and Disney was like, "Yeah, cool," and then Sony said, "We want a 50-50 split." Disney would say, "Get the fuck out of here."
Well, the thing is, like, Sony owns Spider-Man. They rightfully own.
They own
Spider-Man.
the movie rights to Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Everything else, Marvel has.
Yes. So, like, I understand why people are upset. Like, they're not letting Kevin Feige come on and be a consultant with Spider-Man for the Sony movies. Because they also said here, like, he's going to be busy anyways because he already has, the Fox stuff that they just acquired.
Yes.
So like they're going to assuming that he doesn't have enough time to handle everything all at once is what they're saying. So the 50-50 deal is like that's not a fair deal for Sony at all.
No, it's not.
And it's like it's robbery. Basically,
yeah, it's so shitty because again, everybody's like, "Oh, Sony this, Sony that." Like, did you see what Stan Lee's daughter?
They own the video game rights.
What
I saw that.
Stan Lee's daughter said?
Yeah.
I'm surprised more people aren't talking about.
No, they don't want to because that's not what they don't care about the human being. Nobody cares about the people involved in this shit. They only care about getting what they want.
That really, for me, when I heard that
really, sealed it right there.
That really made me just feel dirty about Disney owning Marvel at all because it sounds like it just I don't know. And
like, I'm not sure if he's even involved at all, but like the whole stuff with Lucas was like, oh, we're doing these Star Wars things, but he's gonna be a consultant. He doesn't necessarily have a say.
He doesn't have power, but they can take his advice.
We're gonna ask for this. We're gonna ask for that. I haven't heard anything about them consulting Lucas.
I haven't either.
And again, like his daughter said that not only have they not reached out since he passed in any way, shape, or form. Like, before he died, they were flying a 95-year-old man around to bank fucking cameos for movies that were just starting production or weren't quite in production yet because they want that shit for their movies because they want the perception of, this is me now, not her. They want the perception of, we care about Marvel and Stan Lee, we care about you guys. No, they don't. They care about making money.
Yeah.
That's all they fucking care about. And, like, again, I'm not begrudging them for making money. Make your money. I'm one of the people
they're a business. They want to make money.
And I'm always the guy that will say, like, when people say, isn't there such thing as too much money? Fuck no, there's not. If you can make money, make money.
Ooh, I don't know if I fully agree. You can make money.
But I hate when people say that about somebody. People were saying that about Howard Stern when he wanted to get his tapes back from Clear Channel when he left terrestrial radio. And, like, they said no. And I was like, well, he only wants it so his channels are, mean more to Sirius. But isn't there ever, he's already making so much money. Isn't there such thing as making too much money?
See, that when it's worded like that I don't like. I don't like when people think, like, it's the same thing. It's like the shit Metallica caught with the whole Napster stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, aren't they rich enough? And it's like, I do think there are some people, like, I'm not saying, like, I'm not begrudging them because they're making the money, but I do think there are some people in this world that have way too much money. We're just like, whoa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in the big picture, like, you know, when you start thinking,
But
like,
I'm never going to begrudge that person for making that money however they make,
I'm
they're
not
doing shitty shit.
begrudging them.
Unless they're doing shitty things the way Disney is doing shitty things.
Yeah. Just I don't know. This between this is a whole different thing, but between that security bullshit that happened at Disneyland not that long ago,
Yeah.
what they're saying right now,
Security?
The fight
that happened at Disneyland that lasted way too long, and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then what Stan Lee's daughter is saying about Disney. And then for me, Disney is the bad guy because they fucking own the rights to Monkey Island. They're just gonna let it rot and to die, and just because they can own more stuff.
Okay, yeah. Oh, let's do that. Let's say Double Fine's owned by Microsoft now. So here's another deal that would have to be with two major companies. If Double Fine came and said, "Hey, we want to make another Monkey Island game. We got this great idea," and Disney's like, "Okay, but we're only gonna give you 70-25 financial split, 75-25." Double Fine has the right to say, no, that's too low. But they would be crazy to ask for 50-50. They would be insane to ask for a 50-50 revenue split. Because, yes, they're bringing the content. Yes, they're bringing the art. But they're only bringing the art to a property that already exists that Disney happens to own now.
Yeah. But I know legally he can't, but someone that I feel like has every right to ask for 50-50, if not full 100%, is the fucking creator, Ron Gilbert.
Right.
And that's why he doesn't want to touch the damn thing unless he has the whole fucking right.
And it's he doesn't even want the money. He just wants full creative control over what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And there's no way Disney's going to give that up. There's no way Sony's going to give that up. And they shouldn't. They shouldn't. And if they can't come to a deal, if 70-30 isn't enough for Disney, fine. Don't begrudge either side. Just, you know what? They couldn't come to a deal. That's it. But, come on, Sony, stop being greedy. Let Marvel have their property back. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
They rightfully own it.
Sony went out and bought the rights to that property when it didn't mean shit and nobody fucking cared.
Well, Marvel, I believe Marvel sold them to Sony and because they were going bankrupt. They were in the bankruptcy stages, and they also wanted to make a movie, too. They made Blade, and then X-Men was the next movie that they wanted to make.
Yeah.
And they sold the rights to Spider-Man.
And until Sony got the rights to Spider-Man,
helped them stay afloat.
Nobody cared about Spider-Man as a movie franchise. Nobody.
So what does this ultimately mean right now? Because I'm not fully... I don't know. So right now, if things stay the way they are, nothing's stopping Sony from making a movie?
No.
Because they own it?
Right.
Yeah.
So Sony could just... they
can go off and make it.
What people are mad about is they want Spider-Man to be part of the Marvel
MCU.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty much.
I was already on the Sony side of this just because of the business aspect of it. It's like, no, this is a property that they own the rights to. And if they don't want to do a 50-50 split with Disney, they don't have to. And if Disney wants to use this property, they're going to have to find terms that work for both parties. And if they don't, then they don't. And that's just how business works.
Yeah. And, they can... I mean, they made a lot of money with Far From Home and Homecoming. And with the Venom movie, apparently made a lot of money, too.
Apparently, aren't they still... So this is, not a negative split because isn't Marvel still trying to negotiate with Sony on Venom? Separately?
No, they own Venom.
Do they own Venom?
Yeah, because it's part of the Spider-Man universe. Everything that surrounds Spider-Man.
I know, but I thought they broke it out individually.
No.
No? Okay.
No. It was a whole deal.
Okay.
Because that's why MCU couldn't say mutants, because when they sold X-Men, everything went to them, including
the
villains and.
What term were they using? They weren't using mutants. They were using a different term. Recently, I can't remember. Anyway,
like Reborn or Specials or something. I don't remember what it was. I forgot.
But yeah, man, this is shitty for fans of the current iteration of Spider-Man. It sucks.
I mean, it does suck. It gets sucked that we're not gonna have Tom Holland in an MCU movie. But at the same time, if
you still may have Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
But you're still gonna have. I mean, he's signed on for 2 more. I think he's signed for 2 more movies.
I also think the big takeaway from this is it's not over.
No, it's not.
I mean,
they just haven't came back with the counter offer. That's all.
Yeah, Disney had kind of said no, there was stuff out there saying that they were done negotiating, but that's bullshit.
No, Brian just tried calling me. I'm like, hey, we're recording, and then
he's in the chat. Okay. But yeah, man, it's a shit situation on all sides. But I am definitely on the Sony side of this. Like, if somebody, like I said earlier, if somebody came to Disney and wanted to use one of their properties and Disney was like, yeah, sure, and then that other company asked for a 50-50 split,
Civil War.
Disney would tell them to get the fuck out of here. There's no way they would do a 50-50 split with one of their properties. No way.
Yeah.
I just realized Brian said F Sony.
Wow.
She's like F Disney. Love it. Brian, why'd you call? Let the chat know or text me back. Don't ignore me.
But yeah.
I mean, I think according to this article, there's still, as far as the director goes, like it looks like they still have him on. But yeah, I mean, as long as they can fulfill their next 2 movies with Holland, I'll be interested to see what Sony does creatively with them.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like again, this is just what we have right now at face value.
Yeah.
Things can change.
Oh, for sure. They could change. They could be changing right fucking now for all we know. You know what I mean?
But what the news that we currently have right now, like I'll be interested to see what they do. I think their next step is probably going to be Sinister Six. I honestly think that's what they're going to do next.
That's what they were fucking going to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Marvel got a bug up their butt and wanted Spider-Man back, and I was way more excited for that iteration of Spider-Man. I think if the Amazing Spider-Man 2 wouldn't have got butchered in the cutting room, so they could pass it on to Marvel, because that's what happened. You could see that in the movie. I think I like those 2 movies, even though 2 is butchered in the editing room. I still think it's a fun, it's a good Spider-Man
story
movie.
there that was not properly told.
Yeah, and because it was told out of order.
That and yeah,
I guarantee the opening to that movie was the climax in the edited version. Was Gwen Stacy dying?
Yeah, because Mary Jane was supposed to be in it.
Yeah. They had shot shit with her.
They shot scenes with her, yeah. It was, what's her name? Shailene Woodley.
Yeah, and I remember even saying that Gwen Stacy needs to die at the very beginning.
I think it's Shailene or something.
Shailene.
Shailene Woodley, yeah. And I guarantee that's what was supposed to happen. Because that fight at the end was completely out of context and out of nowhere. It made zero sense in the way they edited that movie.
I have to watch it again. It's been so long since I've seen it.
Because there's all this great stuff with his parents, and there's so much good shit in that movie,
I was hoping
man.
they'd get into the parents. Because that's something we've never seen.
Yeah. They did a good job of
screen.
Even though it was edited out of sequence, there's good shit in that movie.
But Andrew Garfield was too damn good looking.
No, he was... Oh,
too good
get
looking.
over it. Who says Peter Parker has to be ugly? All Peter Parker has to do is be...
You guys
We're done.
It's
We're
awkward.
done. Yeah, exactly. All Peter Parker has to be is awkward. That's all he's ever described
yes.
as. That's all he's... I know, but you're on my side. Shut up. You're on my side. That's all that's ever described as Peter Parker.
He got the awkwardness right, but he was still...
Yeah, he nailed the fucking awkwardness. And he also nailed the arrogance of being Spider-Man. He fucking nailed it. Don't turn me down!
No, that's spiking.
Yes, Andrew Garfield's a good-looking dude. Yes. But there's nowhere in the Marvel comic universe does it say Spider-Man's kind of unfortunate looking or Spider-Man's not so handsome.
If you look at the original comic.
Who cares? But that's how you visually tell a story. When you can tell that same story with someone's acting, you don't have to make them look how you made them look in the comic book. Words are hard to get across if you're reading them.
Worked for X-Men First Class. They sort of look like the comic book, especially at the end of the second one.
I hear you, but you're not hearing me. If I sent you a text message, you would read it how you want to read it. You would put your own inflection and your own emphasis on it the way you want to, depending on your mood. When you read words in a comic book, it's the same thing. That's why they draw the characters the way they draw them in the comics, so you read it the way they want you to read it. You see it, you read it, and you digest it. When you're doing something in motion on film where there's acting and someone who is a good actor like Andrew Garfield, you can get that awkwardness and that nerdiness across without him being a goofy looking guy. Period. End of statement. Andrew Garfield was a great Peter Parker and a great Spider-Man. I wish they could have continued down that line. But Marvel wants Spider-Man back in the MCU. We need to do what's right for the fans. Come on, Sony. And they did. And I did not like Homecoming. And Far From Home looks super enjoyable, but I just haven't seen it yet.
It's better than Homecoming.
I'm sure it is. Because it's actually a fucking Spider-Man movie. And not a backdoor Tony Stark movie. Anyway, come on back, Bryce. I'm done. Overall, fuck Disney.
So, again, all this can change.
Thank you for helping me make my point, Bryce. That was clutch when I needed it.
I'm
up!
just saying. I was sitting here for so long. You guys are going back and forth. I'm just doing this, looking at the camera. I'm like, I'm just gonna go.